Hello there, UTs. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. And I also would like you to know that I've noticed that I have recently acquired some new subscribers. And that's such a major blessing to me. Oh, thank you so much. I want to thank all of my new subscribers. And for any of you that are not familiar with exactly my channel and whom I am, I just want you to know that I am Love of Fragrance. This channel predominantly consists of fragrances and my recommendation of fragrances to you. My perception of fragrances that I have experienced, fragrances that I personally admire and have a preference for, which happens to be a love for, and I have utilized them, some of them an extensive period of time, and I just wanted to share my experiences with you. But however, I am consistently learning of new fragrances, and as I become more familiar with fragrances, I would love to bring those experiences to you. So therefore, continue to tune into my channel, continue to subscribe, and I pray that you continue to enjoy the videos because I consistently try to establish new content. However, today I would like to introduce you to predominantly five fragrances that I consider to have an extensive longevity. These particular fragrances I recommend highly to women, not necessarily mature women, but women that desire a transcending and embodied some elegance within their application process of their fragrances. And with the fragrances that I am going to recommend to you today, I perceive that you will attain, excuse me, all of those elements in these particular fragrances because I love a fragrance that has an extensive amount of longevity, an extensive amount of distinctiveness about it, and also an alluring effect. And these fragrances that I introduced to you today have all of those attributes. And I'm coming to you today with some of my previous fragrances and one of my newer fragrances, and some of them are considered classical fragrances, and there are various collections. However, the fragrance that I have to introduce to you today that I recommend for women that desire a fragrance that's going to grant them extensive longevity and some transcending eloquence with impulse that's going to carry out throughout their activities or engagements or whatever they're subjected to throughout the day. It's going to remain prevalent, and whether it's in your clothing, in your body, or whatever, but it's going to be substantial. And there are many fragrances out there that are like that. However, I do not possess everything because there's such a large collection of fragrances. Some I would probably never have an experience to be subjected to or familiarize myself with, but the ones that I have available to you that I can definitely contest to the fact that these ones are definitely going to grant you the longevity that you would desire in a fragrance, and also the distinctiveness in a fragrance, and also the transcending allure that a woman aspires to have in a fragrance, because I know there are various fragrances for various occasions, but I consider these myself to be just a woman's fragrance that she wants to wear to any occasion that's going to give her the femininity, the sensuality that she desires. And without any further ado, I'm going to present to you right now my number one fragrance for this particular longevity effect that women aspire within a fragrance, because some are much stronger than others, and I'm introducing you to the ones that I feel have some strength and endurance, which grants them power And one of my most powerful fragrances for you today happens to be not other than Bio Blast Nude. Yes, I did a video shoot on this one previously, and this here is Bio Blast Nude. Bio Blast Nude happens to be a floral scent of intimacy and extensive longevity. It's sensual, it's rosy, it consists of its notes. I don't have a description of all of its notes right now, but I can give you a basic indication of exactly what some of them are. It has a jasmine note in it with sandalwood, musk, ylang moss, and also various floral contents within it. The description of this particular fragrance in itself definitely gives it the richness and the sweetness and warmth of everything that a woman could want in a particular fragrance. This right here, Bio Blast Nude Honey, this fragrance right here is power. It is so much power. It's extremely powerful. It will grant you an alluring and appealing eloquence, whatever you aspire to have in a fragrance. This right here, right now, what I'm recommending to you has nothing but power and longevity, and you will be very pleased with the originality of the scent itself, which I find is very, very appealing. But just remember, this right here is Bio Blast Nude, and if you want extensive longevity, I highly recommend this one as number one in my 5 note fragrances that I'm going to describe to you today. Number 1. Okay, and we're going to go on to number 2 for longevity. I recently received this in a Christmas gift, but I did not realize that the collection of these here particular Halston fragrances were so extensive. This here is Halston, and it was provided to me as one of my Christmas gifts. And this particular fragrance right here, it has power. It has extensiveness, which grants it longevity, but you will be surprised. It has a powdery scent to it, which makes it more delicate. But when I say it has longevity, I'm going to go and spray a little bit of this on me. That means it's strong. It's powdery, and it has a twist of sweetness, and you can smell some citric in it, but the scents in here, the notes in here consist of sheer. It's very sheer, which means it's supposed to give you an alluring effect of light, soft delicateness, but it has a sheer, floral, fruity apple blossom and a sandalwood effect, which grants it its, I would say, opulence, which makes it vibrant. It becomes more vibrant as it begins to dry on your skin. In other words, as it dries on your skin, it becomes more detectable, and it becomes more alluring and more powerful, which gives it that staying power, which grants its longevity, and it makes it very strong. Trust me, it's sheer to the appeal of softness and delicacy, but it's strong, which means it carries on and it carries on and it carries on throughout the day. So if you love a fragrance that consists of pear, musk, sandalwood, and lilac, and just to name a few of its notes, I just want you to know that I highly recommend this one to you. It's excellent for longevity because of the way that the notes are orchestrated within this here particular fragrance. It has a nice distribution of its notes that makes it eloquent and sophisticated and feminine all at once at the same time. And I'm very proud to be an owner of this particular fragrance because it grants you recognition. In other words, it's recognizable. So therefore, I highly recommend this one as my number 2 fragrance of longevity. Okay. I had to put that one back on because I'm still introducing myself to that one and getting more and more familiar with it and adjusting to the scent, and it's very new, so I can use it a little bit more freely because, in other words, I have a lot more in the container. But carrying on to my fragrance that I prefer to introduce to you now for number 3 happens to be Marc Jacob Dickinson. Yes, I've conducted a description and recommended this fragrance to you before, and I love this fragrance here myself, but to me this is an any occasion fragrance. Yes, it's powerful. It's very powerful, and it has extensive longevity. And the reason I'm not going to put it on, I want to put the other one on because I can wear that on all day long. But this one right here, to me, is a special occasion fragrance. Like I recommended before, I felt like this particular fragrance should be worn to a concert because, especially where there's going to be a lot of sweat and it's warm and it's possibly going to arouse the adrenaline in an environment, and it's crowded, and the ventilation is poor, and you want to smell eloquent and feminine as well, as because you're going to be subjected to so many body fluids and so many body elements in the air to where you want to sustain a distinctive odor. And I highly recommend this one for that, but not necessarily to a concert. I recommend this even out as a night out on the town, or maybe just for a party or a social club, or maybe out to dinner with someone, possibly in a garden, the garden environment, where you will be subjected to the outdoors, where your fragrance will not be suffocated, but be free to, exuberate itself. I want you to understand that Marc Jacobs here orchestrated a very nice fragrance with this here. Marc Jacobs originated a luxurious and elegant fragrance with this here Divine Decadence. It's a mature fragrance of sophistication. Honey, let me tell you, this here is it's an extreme longevity. In other words, you will get excessive longevity with this particular fragrance. It has a green, outdoorsy, forest type of a base to it that has the sophistication of the elements of nature, but it's very alluring. It's very attractive. Like I said, it's extreme longevity for extreme occasions, such as the ones I've mentioned to you earlier, or extreme occasions. And some of the notes, just to name a few of the notes in here, consist of white form, excuse me, vanilla, citric, warm spices, and amber, and a variation of other floral elements as well, just to name a few. But this particular fragrance here is very, very appealing and definitely enticing, and oh my God, it's so distinctive to where anyone that has ever smelled this fragrance and they have an opportunity to detect this fragrance on your body, trust me, they will be able to determine exactly what you're wearing, because this here fragrance right here has its own personal identification. In other words, it's recognizable anywhere, anytime, on anybody. Trust me, this is my number 3 recommendations for longevity. If you were to obtain one of these here particular fragrance, this here particular fragrance right here, I just want you to know you will be completely impressed. You will be so impressed with this one right here because of the fact that it will give you all the beautification and qualifications of longevity, and that's highly recommended, especially for women that love to smell elegant, sustain an aroma of elegance and luxuriousness, and have those qualifications and those their scents. sustain themselves, whether it's in your clothing, it's in your hair, or it's on your body, whatever. You want to sustain those their qualifications of alluring, and usually we enhance ourselves with pleasantry in our fragrances, and that's the purposes of wearing them. And I just want you to know that when you invest in a fragrance like this, and you attain just that, a pleasant aroma at all times, with the amount of longevity that you are going to attain with this one. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. This is my number 3 recommendations for longevity. Marc Jacob Dickinson. Carrying on. Okay. My next recommendation of Dickinson to you happens to be a fragrance that's been in my collection for quite some time. I have not provided a description on it previously, and I'm kind of disappointed that I have to discontinue using it, because when I acquired it, I fell in love. Woo! Love a fragrance, fell in love with this fragrance, and you know me being the type of, I guess, a conservative type of person like myself, love to sustain the fragrances as long as I can, because replaceability is sometimes a little bit complicated. But when I attain this one, honey, I used it. I went overboard. Yes, I was looking for the name right there, Yahtzee. This here happens to be Givenchy. Givenchy Yahtzee. I am so in love with this fragrance, honey. This should have been number 1. But the reason I made it number 4 is because I want you to keep it fresh in your mind. And I want you to definitely purchase this particular fragrance right here, because this is the bomb. This is the bomb, baby. This is the bomb. This is a bomb. Trust me. I don't think there's a woman on this planet that will use this fragrance and say, I don't like it. I don't think there's one that on this planet that will use this fragrance, or smell this fragrance, and say, I don't like it. And if so, God bless you. But anyways, this here's Yahtzee, and it's by Givenchy. Honey, pure love. Pure love. Oh my God. I had to cut back on my usage, and I'm so upset. Look, I'm almost halfway full. I got down to, yes, a little bit over half, and I just, no. I can't believe I used it that frequently. I mean, that quickly. Now, where am I going to get another one? I don't know. When and where and how? I don't know. It's not like I can just run out and just let the dollars fly any way I want them to, especially for fragrances, because fragrances are expensive, honey. I consider them expensive, especially for, they're lovely. They're a lovely purchase, but they can get expensive. But this one right here is definitely expensive anyways, because this is Givenchy. And this right here happens to be, honey, I guess that's why it smells so good, it's magical. This fragrance right here is magical. It has magical attributes of pure love. Love of elegance and opulence. Whoa. It has reached the smell like luxury. In other words, I classify each and every one of them that I've presented to you so far as nothing but pure luxury, but I put this in a category of richness. Yes, richness and luxury. And it has the notes of citric, yang, and a little bit of coconut in it, rosewood, gall badon, and aldehydes. And there are several other notes that I'm not familiar with, so I just want you to know, but I'm not sure exactly which one will constitute the most elegant fragrance scent in here, but the scent is amazing. It's definitely amazing. It's appealing. Oh my God. It's captivating. It's definitely captivating, and it will definitely grant you the extensive longevity. I want to put this one on, but I can't not right now. I can't use it again for a while. If I use it again, I better be going out on a hot date with a hot honey or something, because that's the only way that I'm going to use this one right here for quite some time. But I want you to know that this here is a lovely fragrance and definitely appealing to any woman that aspire to have longevity in their fragrance. Honey, you're going to be so distinguishedly appealing and attractive, and oh my God, nothing but pure love in this bottle. And I highly recommend this one to you for longevity. Please take my recommendation and apply it to your fragrance purchase list. And remember, even if you don't purchase the entire content, get yourself a few samples, and trust me, you will love it. This is a wonderful fragrance. I can't emphasize it enough. I am very pleased and content with this one. I'm not going to say that this was a blind buy. I'm trying to remember how I attained it, but however I attained it, I just thank God for it. I love all my fragrances, don't get me wrong, but I am truly grateful because this one's just so feminine, so feminine, so womanry. I mean, lovely, eloquence, everything that a girl could want. Trust me, I love it. I can't get enough of this fragrance right here. I have to start using the samples or something because I am so pleased with this. Enough about this one, but trust me, I highly recommend it to you. So do yourself a favor, invest in this fragrance. You won't be disappointed. Number 4. Okay, I hope I'm not taking up too much time, but here we go for number 5. Number 5, I conducted a recommendation video on this one, and I definitely emphasize this fragrance to my viewers as being one of my classical fragrance. And when I say classical, I mean it. I've been in love with this fragrance forever, and it's a classic. And it's also one of my more historical fragrance. That's why I say it's a classic, and it's one of my favorites. When I say it's one of my favorites, it's one of my favorites that I can wear anytime, day or night, any day, and go anywhere and feel confident with this fragrance on. But the longevity of it is amazing. It's exceptionally extensive, and it gives you the power and durability that a woman needs in a fragrance. It has such opulence that's absolutely just fascinating. It's sensual, it's alluring, it's appealing, it's everything that a woman could want, and it's definitely, I recommend it for any occasion, actually. And like I said, and the reason I recommend it for any occasion, because of the longevity, and that's what most women want. They don't want to have to be spritz, 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 spritz every hour. Spritz, 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 spritz. You don't want to do that. You want something that has staying power, that's going to soak and penetrate into your skin, and doesn't have such a negative distinction based on your body chemistry. You want something that if it's on your clothing, that it's not going to be too overpowering, too overbearing, but yet and still has that staying power and alluring effect that's going to give you some eloquency as a woman. And regardless of where you are, you're going to smell attractive. And the one that I recommend to you, the last one, number 5, happens to be Black Opium. Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent. I conducted a video on this one before, and like I said, this is one of my favorites. I have several, but this is one that I definitely highly recommend, and I definitely have a special love for. Well, Black Opium happens to be very impulsive. It's an impulsive fragrance because it has a sense of fascination. In other words, people are going to be admiring you with this here fragrance on because it's impulsive, and it's like a fantasy fragrance that gives you a distinction, but it's also a very heavy scent. And when I say it's longevity because it's heavy. It's heavy, but yet delicate at the same time, with several notes of sweet floral, oriental, Gardon coffee attributes, and also with some wooded content as well. So the Gardon coffee in this particular fragrance is primarily what gives it its distinction. And as it gives it its distinction, this is embodied also with luxury and a very appealing aroma. So I just want you to know that anyone that invests in this particular fragrance will not be disappointed. You will find this fascinating, and you will find this fragrance right here has an exceptional sustainability as with its wearability, and it's embodied as being one of the most fascinating fragrances that was ever originated. And I just want you to know, I highly recommend this as my number 5 fragrance for you to invest in and love a fragrance. I would has many fragrances that she's going to be recommended to you, but for various occasions. And I recommend these 5, which I've indicated to you today, as for the longevity purposes only. When you're looking for longevity, however, you can wear them whenever you want, anytime. But I just want you to know, whenever you wear these 5 fragrances, you are going to sustain some longevity. Some people like their fragrances to begin to disintegrate over time, and some love that staying power, which sustains the longevity of them. And these here that I've indicated to you today, these 5 will grant you that particular longevity effect that you desire in a fragrance. So, love a fragrance, recommend as number 5, Black Opium, Yves Saint Laurent to you. So please invest in these particular 5 fragrances, and you will, trust me, never be disappointed when it comes to longevity, sustainability, luxuriousness, and an alluring effect that's going to be distinctive with your fragrances. And I want to thank you for tuning into my channel, and I would like for you to please continue to review my videos and also subscribe to my channel, and I would really appreciate it, because Love of Fragrance has many more fragrances she would like to recommend to you. And I am trying from every aspect to ensure that my videos produce a content that's going to be interesting enough for you to take my advice and invest in these particular products, because of the fact that Love of Fragrance has a love of fragrances, and she just want to share that love with you. A woman wants to smell nice, as myself, and I know there are many of them out there. You know, of course, you're clean. Yeah, you smell clean, and you take care of your body and everything. But you know, to me, the only thing that fragrances really do is give you that extra layer of attention and affection that you give to your body. It's just giving it another layer of attention and affection. And that's what fragrances are. An extra amount of love that you're giving to yourself. And however, just fortunately, you desire to share with the world. So anyone that happens to detect your particular fragrance on your particular body, are just enjoying the love that you have for yourself, honey. That's all. You just sharing your love. And I'm doing that when I recommend it to you. So I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into my video. And thank you so much for subscribing to my videos. And thank you for the new subscribers as well. And you have a wonderful evening. Goodbye. Thank you very much.